Turismo.
I am a total sellout. I liked Black Adam. I like sexy big titles because I'm not a sexy big man. I'm a small, inconsequential human being. So when Eric Holmes said he was actually at his local Cineplex, his theater, and he saw this movie called Gran Turismo, I thought, SEO, ching, 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 this is a big movie, Gran Turismo. Eric Holmes, the floor is yours. Vroom, vroom, does this movie run across, do a couple of laps of cinematic excellence? And what do you think of Gran Turismo?
First of all, Gran Turismo is directed by Neill Blomkamp. I think a lot of people know who he is. He did the, what is it? District 9, District 8, District 7, District 9,
Chappie,
Elysium.
Chappie.
Chappie's his best movie, hands down. I love Chappie. Okay. And then we just reviewed Demonic a year or two ago. I kind of like that one. I think Bruce hated that one, if I remember correctly. When I heard
4 stars, I think.
When I heard that Neill Blomkamp was doing a Gran Turismo movie, my first thought was that doesn't make sense. And then I remembered that he was supposed to do a Halo movie, and then now it made sense again. But this isn't like this is basically a true life story of Jan Mardenborough, I think, played by Archie Meduki. Oh, I'm just horrible with the names today. But he was a kid that really liked playing. He was really good at Gran Turismo, the game, like really good. And Orlando Bloom plays Danny Moore, and he decides that he's going to do this contest where, we're going to get all these people that are really good at Gran Turismo, and then we're going to take the top ones of them and then put them through race car training with David Harbour's character, Jack Salter. And we're going to make them real race car drivers and see how, because Gran Turismo is essentially less of a game and more of a racing simulator. I haven't played the latest installments of Gran Turismo, but I used to play it a lot up until probably Gran Turismo 3 or 4. And the game is dry, like, going through trying to get all the licenses and stuff. And it's not fun. It's kind of dull, actually. But it's a racing simulator, so I guess it's supposed to be dull. But anyway, the idea is, let's see how good this racing simulator is. Let's see if we can transfer that to actual racing. And David Harbour's like, yeah, this is stupid. They're playing a video game. You got all the G-force. The cars are going so fast. You got so many G-forces pushing against you. If you get in a crash, you don't hit reset, you probably die or get seriously injured. This is just a terrible idea all around. Orlando Bloom's more of a marketer guy. He's like, hey, come on, man. It'll work. Let's do it. Come on, David Harbour. And so it's basically Jan's rise from really good Gran Turismo player to really good race car driver. And he continues to prove himself as a race car driver, even to the point where the other drivers are like, you're not a real driver. You're a game player that became a race car driver. And so the main conflict is not only is he able to get up to the part where he can be a race car driver, spoiler alert, he does, but can he become a good enough race car driver to where other race car drivers respect them and respect the whole idea? Overall, the races are a little more stylized than I would like in this kind of movie. And the biggest issue I had with this is that I've already seen Ford v Ferrari about 10 times, and I love that movie. So a lot of times watching Gran Turismo, I'm like, I really want to be watching Ford v Ferrari right now. I think the story in Ford v Ferrari is a lot better. I think the races are a lot better. And the action in Ford v Ferrari is a lot better, because in Gran Turismo, you have the cars racing and it's all stylized and cameras moving around, a lot of drone shots, and it looks cool, but they constantly have to put little icons of what place they're in the race. In Ford v Ferrari, they didn't have to do that. The filmmaking was so good that you got that, without the crutch of that. And that, that's not to say Gran Turismo sucks. It's still good, but it's an obvious comparison between the two. If you're going to do a remake of Wizard of Oz, you're constantly going to be compared to Wizard of Oz, whether that's fair or not. But as it is, the movie's still pretty good. David Harbour is really good. The relationship between him, Orlando Bloom, and Archie the relationship between the three of them is really good. Might have teared up a couple times. I mean, it's, Lifetime kind of tearing up, like this movie's manipulating me, but you know what? Screw it. I'll go with it.
So again, it's directed by Neill Blomkamp, and he is a lifelong video game enthusiast, like you mentioned, Halo, and he's also has a lifelong passion for mocap and all that stuff. Did you see some? You said the movie stylized. Is it stylized because it's based? I know it's a true story, but it's based on the video game. Did you try to make it a video game stylized kind of movie? Make it slick like that?
So there, like, for instance, there's a scene where Jan's in the race, and then all of a sudden, like, the camera's back behind the car, and all of a sudden the car starts breaking up, like what do you call that? Like when you look up directions and they have the exploded view of something so you can see what all the parts are. The car does that, and then the background switches, and then the exploded pieces disappear, and all of a sudden now he's in his room playing Gran Turismo. So it's done in such a way to, hey, he's back to basics, having fun like he did back in his bedroom playing Gran Turismo. So it's got stuff like that, but also like when he's passing someone, there'll be like he'll have a 14th ahead of him, and then he passes someone, and that 14 turns into a 13. So you know what place he's in. And then the drone shots, I assume they're drone shots. They did have a helicopter in there, so maybe it's helicopter shot. I don't know. But the drone shots kind of zipping around the track. Yeah, it's just kind of stylized in that way. It's a little too flashy for me, but it works for what it is. The reason I say it's too flashy is because Ford v Ferrari exists, and that's less flashy but more effective, I think.
So that is Gran Turismo, only in movie theaters August 11th specifically, again, based on a true story. Like Eric said, Eric, what is your rating on Gran Turismo?
I probably give this 3.5, probably a 3-star. I'd give it if Ford v Ferrari didn't exist, this would probably be a 4-star movie. But again, it's not as good as that, and it kind of leans on a couple tropes. One interesting thing, and they mentioned this at the end credits, Jan Martinborough, the actual person that Archie plays was the stunt driver in this. So that was kind of a cool little thing. I didn't know that till in credits, but once that got brought up, it was like, oh, that's cool. And wonder if I can watch it again and see if I can point him in there. Although they probably CGI'd his face out. Who knows?
Well, thank you, Eric Holmes, for actually at your local theater watching. Please keep on doing these sexy, big commercial movies. Yeah, they continue to do this.
They've been doing those. I haven't got to see Last Voyage of Demeter. I'll definitely be watching that by next week, but okay, they did one of those for the this week too. I missed the screen because I saw it too late, but they've been doing a lot of those, so hopefully I'll be able to. We'll see.
Okay, so that's 3 stars from Eric Holmes for Gran Turismo.